Hey YouTubers, I am reviewing a truth tell video on Jaguar Wright.
For the last few years, Jaguar Wright has made a name for herself by exposing the music industry's biggest names. Many of her interviews have gone viral, showing Jaguar angrily exposing people like Diddy, Jay-Z, and many others. She has recently been bringing awareness to a lot of the industry's darkest secrets. Many people nowadays eagerly wait for Jaguar's next interview to see who she will be exposing next. Now, it appears that she might have a target on her back, and those people she was calling out might be working in the background to get rid of her.
Well, that's one of the claims Jaguar made when she went to jail recently. She said it was Tasha K and I believe P. Diddy or Jay-Z who got her incarcerated this time around. But if that is the case, she's not more powerful than these people. She doesn't have that much pull in the courts and the judges and the cops. So how come they were able to bond her out? The Cochran law firm bond her out. How come that was possible? So that's questionable to me.
Considering what just happened to her, you're forced to ask yourself, are they really trying to silence Jaguar Wright? After all the things Jaguar Wright was saying in these interviews, it was only a matter of time before she would deal with retaliation for it. She called out so many important people in the industry with so much power that I was praying nothing happened to her, but sadly expecting it. There's a reason I don't show my face, as I value my safety. And you never know who's watching you and who you make an enemy when you're exposing the truth. Jaguar is out here with her face plastered everywhere talking about some of the most powerful people in the industry. As a former artist who was in the industry, she was in the same room as these people, and that's what makes her so dangerous to them. She has actually been around people like Diddy and Jay-Z and saw what they're doing behind the scenes. When Jaguar first started going viral for exposing the industry, most people just brushed her off. They called her crazy and jealous and said she had no credibility. Most people only know Jaguar for being the loud lady who screams on the internet, but it's that she was actually in the industry for a long time. She was actually signed to a major record label, and she was at all of those Hollywood parties before she left.
I am still looking for pictures of her at these major parties, like with Clive Davis and all these other people in the industry like P. Diddy and Jay-Z. I've yet to see a picture of her at a major party.
She left the industry because of two things, the roots and because the industry was too demonic for her. Most people didn't really start taking her seriously until Diddy got exposed by Cassie for the very thing that Jaguar was calling Diddy out for years. When Cassie's lawsuit dropped, Jaguar's claims were finally validated and people started listening to what she had to say. Now, what she has been saying recently might have gotten her in trouble. By now, some of you might have already heard the news that Jaguar has been arrested. Many news blogs have been reporting that she was arrested on June 6th, and according to these blogs, she was arrested on a felony warrant for allegedly stealing property valued between $30,000 and $150,000. A $10,000 bond was posted early Friday morning. What's being said by these blogs is that allegedly, Jaguar rented a U-Haul truck and never returned it to the rental location, which is a felony. She was arrested for this and taken into custody where Jaguar started making some calls from within the jail. Jaguar on these calls made some claims denying that she was arrested for not returning the truck, claiming that the police had nothing on her to hold her. She went on to claim that the real reason she was arrested was because she was being silenced. She believes this arrest was an orchestrated attempt to silence her for exposing the many people she exposed in the industry.
Well, all that may be true, but I know the truck part is not true. She really did not return the truck she rented. And if you rent a truck or a car and you do not return it, it's considered theft. So she doesn't have a leg to stand on that front. So maybe the other things may be true in terms of her exposing these people and these allegations are correct and they're after her. I don't know, but the truck story is true. She really did rented the truck and she did not return it because she was put in jail. She was incarcerated at the time. She was moving from Dallas to Louisiana. She was by the pool. The cops came and got her and impounded the truck. When she got out of jail, she never looked back to get the paperwork straight concerning the truck or pay the company what she owed them. So the truck remained impounded while Jaguar went on with her life like if she did not rent a truck. So she's responsible now for whatever happened to the truck. The company still did not get their truck back, and so now they're coming after Jaguar.
She's blaming her arrest on Jay-Z and Tasha K, claiming that they are trying to silence her. In my last video, we spoke about the many things Jaguar accused Jay-Z of doing, like getting rid of his former mistress when she threatened to expose their secret relationship, or getting rid of many people in the industry that he wanted to take their place. She even claims that Jay-Z is actually the man behind the current Diddy takedown that we are witnessing. She states that Jay-Z wants to get rid of Diddy to take his place.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough.
Why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time. Like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him.
Well, this much I have to say. Jaguar Wright is never out of conspiracy theories. Let's continue.
Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend, Claudia?
So, Jack, wouldn't you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress.
Yeah.
Died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm, just like the woman who was best friends with Kim.
Jaguar believes that she was arrested now because she had an interview planned with Gene Deal, who is Diddy's former bodyguard. Gene Deal himself has exposed so much dirt on Diddy. He was the man who confirmed that Usher had something going on with Diddy. He even claimed that Diddy had put Usher in the hospital when he was still a teen.
Little Rod, he alleges that, Diddy told him personally that he has Usher. And when you look at the lawsuit, even though they got Usher name redacted, you could tell who it is because they described him as the guy that performed at the Super Bowl.
Right.
So, we all know who that is, right? How you feel about that, man?
Well, I mentioned that earlier. That he said about Stevie J. The Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling, I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now, I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bro, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp. Y'all put it together.
Jaguar claims that this interview between her and Gene was going to be exposing too much, and some powerful people wanted to stop the interview from happening. Hence, this is the reason she was arrested, and they're claiming it was theft to cover it up.
Guys, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so as yet as you come onto the page. Let's get back to the video.
Jaguar is now pushing this narrative that she is a target of Jay and others. This is her side of the story, but some people on the internet have a different theory entirely.
Well, honestly, this is nothing new. This has been going on for years, where Jaguar claims that someone or people are after her and she's been moving from place to place. And she has been moving out and in of apartments, driving cross country from one state to the next, saying that the cartel is after her, Jay-Z's after her, P. Diddy's after her, a whole host of people are after her. It's been years, and she hasn't been caught yet. And she's hiding in plain sight because On any given day, she's on the boob tube and people know where she is. She thinks she is incognito, but she gives out her location all the time. It doesn't take an Einstein to find her. So if these people wanted to find her, they would have been found Jaguar Wright. Incidentally, according to Tasha K, she was diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. So maybe that's playing a part on her thinking that people are always after her and she's got to move constantly. Now let's get back to the video. Again, it's a truth tell video.
When I was researching the situation, I found a few people stating a complete different story. Some people on YouTube are saying that Jaguar is not a target and that she is a liar. They believe that she set all this up in order to get attention for her new upcoming interview with Gene Deal. They also believe that Jaguar wasn't arrested, but instead she turned herself in and staged the whole thing. They believe that she was aware of her warrant, so she turned herself in and leaked to the blogs that she was arrested. They point to this jail call of Jaguar where she seems to be a little too concerned on whether if YouTube is reacting positively to her arrest.
So you tell me what's up, girl. How are you? Like, what's going on? Huh?
Is YouTube on fire? Is YouTube on fire?
Girl, you have no idea. It is like, it's rampant. Everybody's live. You know that. Everybody. Girl.
As you heard for yourself, though you can barely make out what she's saying, she asked the caller if YouTube was on fire. The YouTuber Tasha K has also been publicly against Jaguar Wright's claims. Her and Jaguar are going back and forth right now, with some people saying that Tasha allegedly has something to do with her arrest. Tasha denied these claims and instead called Jaguar a schizophrenic bipolar woman who is just making things up for attention.
Granted, some things are for attention, while most of the things are for clicks and views. That's the bottom line with Jaguar. Money, clicks, views, subscribers. In other words, YouTube.
Of this whole situation is
okay.
You take responsibility for Jaguar Wright being incarcerated.
That is
Tasha, this is your fault.
Tasha,
it's your
question,
fault.
but go ahead, it's your question.
Do you take any, not to say the charge, because you had nothing to do with the charge.
No, we don't steal cars over here.
Yes. Do you feel like any responsibility of her being, captured?
Listen, my prayers have been answered.
Ooh, not your prayers, girl.
Not
your
just
prayers.
pray. First of all, I don't wish bad on nobody. But Jag has been living off the grid for a minute. And she,
yes.
Where's that Ultima that had? When she was in there like, and Solar was like, Jag, listen to me, Jag. And she, I'm gonna, and she took her son's ashes. I'm gonna, where that car at? Where the dog was living in the bag. Are you chasing Jag? Did you send Clive Davis after Jag? People really don't know that Jaguar is real life schizophrenic. Jag knows her father was schizophrenic. Her entire family knows, just gotten to check her whole life.
Oh, it's not just bipolar schizophrenia.
No, it's bipolar schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia, okay.
It's whole nine.
Now, Tasha K is not making this up. She actually interviewed several members of Jaguar's family who told her, as she sat down and interviewed them in person, that Jaguar is schizophrenic and she's bipolar and she is on those medications to keep it in check. And when she does not take her medications, that's when she goes off the handle. And we saw that in several episodes, like at the airport, when she rolled up and pulled up in the police department, threatening the officers, the mayor's office, etc.
And I said, see, but because everybody's believing the Diddy stuff, first of all, everything that Jag's saying, Gene Deal has already said. Jag watches a lot of the blogs and regurgitates it and makes it entertaining. This is who y'all are believing. We did a full-fledged free-series documentary on Jag and her family. Her family told you that lady ain't wrapped too tight. But now I'm responsible for her being arrested for stealing a car.
She said that today. She said that you are the reason she's arrested. You know, that you made up a warrant for her, which I'm like, well, she got
I got that kind of pull. I would delete my case out of Georgia.
Now, considering everything Jaguar has been saying on the internet for the last year about big important people like Clive Davis and Jay-Z, I wouldn't put it past people trying to get rid of her. The elite are known for silencing anyone who tries to expose them. The fact that she has recently been going harder than ever, calling out so many people, could have 100% put a target on her back, especially since she has so many eyes on her right now. Just think about this. When Jaguar started saying all of this, she was saying it right off her phone, posting it on social media. Barely anyone was listening to her, and those that were mostly thought she was crazy. The people that Jaguar was talking about weren't worried about what she had to say then. As one, no one was really listening, and two, most people thought she was crazy anyways. But now she's doing interviews with millions and millions of views. Time after time again, she's getting on these big platforms, saying things that could end some prominent people's careers. Now after the Cassie lawsuit and Diddy getting exposed,
Well, if they cancel Jaguar Wright, they would have to cancel Gene Deal also, because Jaguar says the same thing that Gene Deal says. As a matter of fact, a lot of people believe that she mimics him as he comes out with what he experienced while he was working for Diddy. She says the same thing and she embellishes it.
Jaguar has more credibility than ever. This is why these platforms want to interview her so much. Now the people want to hear what she has to say. So yes, do I believe it's possible some people would most likely want to shut her up now? Of course I do. But is this arrest that? Was Jaguar Wright being silenced for what she has been saying on interviews? Or is she just trying to create another massive moment for herself, this time bigger than the last? Well, it's hard to say 100% either or right now, for me at least. I believe some of these things Jaguar Wright claims. There's things that she states that you can investigate and look into and verify. Like the fact that she claimed Diddy took out everyone at Bad Boy and even his baby mother Kim Porter. When I look into those claims, to me it seems believable. I myself think Diddy had something to do with what happened to Tupac and Biggie. While this claim might be true, some other claims I can't verify. That doesn't mean that it isn't true, but it means that I just can't find any evidence suggesting that it is. Now, while Jaguar could definitely be an industry target right now, she could also just be cashing in. Jaguar is getting the most attention she has ever gotten in her entire life right now. She's seeing all these million upon millions of views on all these platforms that it could have blinded her. People change when they see all that attention, and they start doing questionable things to keep that attention. Now, am I saying that this is what Jaguar Wright did? No, I don't know if this is what she did. This is what other YouTubers are saying. All I am saying is that it's definitely a possibility. Just like her being targeted is also a possibility. In my opinion, my theory is that either she was targeted and that's why she was falsely arrested, or she is just capitalizing off the fact that she was arrested and decided to build up hype off.
I believe the latter is true. She's building hype off of that arrest.
Of it. You already know that if she was really released, she already did a new interview, and the videos are being edited as we speak. In my opinion, while it does matter if she was lying, as it would mess up her reputation and credibility, I wouldn't blame her if she was just wrong and actually believed she was targeted. We know they either put you in jail or in a box if you speak the truth, and she has been doing a whole lot of speaking out lately.
This is not lately. Jaguar Wright has been speaking out for years. And so it is not something that she recently has been doing.
As a channel that spreads the truth and is dedicated to exposing the evil in the industry, I felt this important to cover this. We have to keep our eyes on those willing to say the truth. We have to let the elite know that we are all standing together and that we are aware of their methods. They won't be eliminating Jaguar and then telling us she did it to herself like they always do. I want to know what you guys think below. Do you think Jaguar is being targeted, or was she just doing all of this for clout? I'm honestly curious to read what you guys have to say, as I myself was left with many questions. One question was, if the elite were targeting her, I would think that they would have arrested her for much longer, not just a day or two, but we don't know what trap they got set up for her.
Exactly. If she was being targeted, she would have been spending a very long time in jail. And if they wanted to do away with her and silence her, that would have happened a long time ago because everybody knows where she is. She likes to think that she's in hiding, hotel hopping from one hotel motel to the next, but actually, she can be found at any time. If anybody's looking for her, all they need to do is have a list of those hotels and motels and holiday inns and all the little in-between joints out there in Texas, and call every last one of them to see if a person is listed or the description. Sometimes people go by an alias, but if you got a description, they can be found. That's how the PIs do it. And in today's technology, with the GPS and all these things that you put in the air, these drones, people can be tracked. So it's not difficult to find anyone in today's society. So if people were after Jaguar, she would have been found a long time ago. So that is my review of a truth tell video. On that note, I'm over and out. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Don't forget to hit the like bell and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so as yet. Thank you for watching.